All right, so today we're starting week 2, and according to our schedule, today we'll talk about HTTP protocol, and we'll talk about Apache and Windows, on Windows and Linux. And as part of our lab, we're going to install Apache. I will go ahead and release the lab so that way you can track the steps that we'll be following today. Let's see, here's our lab. All right, perfect. Okay, so in today's lab, you'll see that the installation of Apache on our Knoppix, on our Linux systems, is going to be very straightforward. There's a step for downloading Apache. There's a step for decompressing or unpackaging the sources. There's a step for configuring them, compiling them. We'll go into great detail on all of those in just a minute. First, let's go ahead and start up our virtual machines. So what you have to do is you have to put in the CD-ROM in the computer, and that's our Knoppix system. Next, you have to locate the virtual machine. Yes, yep, that's the CD. Yep. So go ahead and put it in the drive. And if you do not have a virtual machine created yet, again, the steps are to go to create new virtual machine, then to say I will install the operating system later, then to say Linux, and any of the Linux systems will do just fine, and then say next, next, and finish. Basically, to run Knoppix, we just need to have an empty virtual machine, which is going to run. Go ahead and say create new virtual machine. Let's go to install operating system later. Say next, and say Linux. Perfect. Say next again, and next. That's fine, and finish. Perfect. All right, and then just say play virtual machine. You bet. So go ahead and go to start. Let's go to the VM. So just type in VM right here. Yep, VM player. Perfect. And then say yes, I accept. Yeah, then OK. And momentarily here, say create a new virtual machine. Just up a little bit. There you go. And next, we're going to just say remind me later. And then select I will install operating system later. Say next. Then Linux. Then next again. Next again. Next. And finish. All right. And the disk is in there right now?
Yes.
OK. Say play virtual machine. Yeah. Say go ahead and say OK to that, and then skip the next message. Yep. Say OK to that. And then remind me later to this. Perfect. OK, coming up. All right, some of them are already running. That's great. Yep. So say Linux, we want to say next right here. Yes. OK. Were you here last week? OK, so let me see if I can find one more. OK, let's see. Let's see if we have. All right, so I don't have an extra one right now, but when I'm done with the demo, I'll give you my CD and you can continue the lab, okay? All right. Okay, is everybody here? Okay, everybody can see the clouds? Okay. Uh-huh.
When you get a second. I hit a button and it changed the entire aspect ratio of my monitor, so it's vertical instead of horizontal. So.
Oh, wow. Skip
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right.
I can use my mouse like this.
Don't the arrows
So
change?
creating virtual machine.
You know, we
Let's say install
tried
it
a couple
later.
things over here. and
Okay.
Yeah, then next.
I don't know. I was starting a new virtual
Linux?
machine. I was typing in
No, no,
40
let's go back.
and
Linux here. Very good. Next.
which is it's kind of cool.
Next.
If you're
Next.
I had a problem
And
with my
finish.
laptop doing that.
All right. All right. So let's. Did you do you have one of those CDs?
it's my first time here.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'll have something working for you later on today. Okay. So if you just
You know how to correct this? Switch to a new computer.
No, no,
I know,
no,
isn't this
the-
cool? Like,
there's actually a virus that causes that, which is really funny. But
Oh.
if you restart it, it should be fine.
Okay.
Did you already restart multiple times?
I just restarted once. Okay. Awesome.
Google it.
Yeah.
Did you push all the buttons already?
No, I didn't. I didn't push buttons.
Okay.
Because I was starting a new virtual machine, and I was going to put 40 gigs
Uh-huh.
instead of 20, and then as soon as I hit this, it tripped out and did that. So. Cool.
Well, I am not opposed with you setting the
Okay.
monitor the other way.
I might have to.
Okay. Okay, what I will do is I will walk with you all through the lab, and you can do this at the same time as I'm doing it, okay? And then we'll take a few minutes. I'm missing 2 CDs, so I'll take care of that. And after that, we'll continue the discussion on HTTP and the different other different ways of installing Apache. So first of all, we do have to have a system running. Now Apache installs on Windows, on Linux, on Solaris Unix, on AIX, on any of those systems just fine. If you are trying to install Apache on Windows, all you have to do is you just double-click on setup.exe, and it takes you through a short installation where you choose the port numbers and the directory of install. In fact, in our 241 class, which is now online, we run through installation of something called Acquia Dev Desktop, which includes already Apache in it. And that shows that you can embed Apache in other products, and you can install them behind the scenes for someone and have a new product available. Jason, you're in the 241 class, right? Oh no, that was full, wasn't it? You were trying to register for it. Okay. Anybody? Were you able to install the Acquia Dev Desktop?
Yes.
Okay. Was it difficult? No. Okay, it was easy. Okay, good. Steven, are you in the class too? Okay, good. Yeah. So the installation of Apache is really not difficult at all. Okay, and sometimes you can basically hide it completely behind the scenes. Okay. The first thing that we want to do is we want to check that our virtual machine has connectivity to the internet, because we will need to download the source code for Apache, and so to do that we need to have access to the internet. So let's just open the browser and go maybe to Google, and so we have liftoff. Okay, we are connected to the internet. Notice that Iceweasel, the browser that we're using on Knoppix, is protected. It has additional module called, is it a spider monkey, or let's see, what's this module called here? This right here is called let me just see what the name of this module is. Tools, add-ons, extensions, no script. Okay, so this is a special plugin that works in Firefox probably as well, but basically it secures your browser, so it doesn't allow any scripts to run. So if you try to log into Blackboard from inside of Knoppix, you may have difficulty. All right. And the way to deal with this little browser is basically by clicking at the bottom here and say allow scripts globally, or you can go to Iceweasel and actually disable this module altogether. You know, when you restart Knoppix, it'll be all back to the original display. Yeah. How's it going? You're
Oh, it's not this one.
okay. Say remind me later. Yeah. Did you put in the CD right here? Okay. No. That's okay. Okay, and let me take a quick look. So, what we need to do is we probably need to restart one more time.
Okay, just that's
And
what I was doing.
we have to press a magic button that allow us to change.
What's the magic button so that I know when I'm
Well,
home?
it
what
should
the magic
be.
button
I think it's the escape. It says it really quickly. So let's go here. It says it really quickly down here at the bottom, and it should ask us for.
is. Not fine.
Yep, and it should ask us for which device to boot from. So you can't really see that. Right?
Yeah.
So okay, tell me what we'll do. We'll just close that. We'll quickly recreate the virtual machine. So that's the one you just created. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get rid of that. See users. Okay. So we'll say create a new virtual machine. This is fine. This is fine. It's fine. That's fine. Finish. Play. And we'll say remind me later. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for some reason this disk is not. It's not. Okay, so this is not the disk that you got from me, right?
I thought it was, but you're right. The
Okay,
other one said
it has to say CO246
yeah.
on it. This looks like an empty disk. Okay.
No wonder it's not.
Yep. Okay, so we're looking. We're connected to the internet. Perfect. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to download the source code for Apache. You see, between us and Apache.org or another website, certain conditions have to exist. Number one, we have to have IP connectivity. So we have to be connected to the network, they have to be connected to the network. Between us and the remote system, we're going to use a special language to communicate. That language is called HTTP. Otherwise, it's called a protocol. Okay? So part of that language is something like, hey, what is your name? What resource would you like me to send to you? Can you accept compressed information? That's part of HTTP. Okay, HTTP. So that's why many URLs start with http://. You're saying that's the language that I'm trying to use. So of course, to download the source code for Apache, we can go to http://apache.org, and we can actually use the browser to download that source code. And so that's somewhere under projects. Somewhere under projects, and then we can go to alphabetical list of projects, and under the H, we have the HTTP server. All right. Now this is not how I want you to download the sources today. I want you to see how you can get there by the book. Okay, this is how you get there by the book. But instead of us all hitting this website and causing them issues, and you know, having to rely on network connectivity over many different hubs, which means that it could be slower, I actually stored resources for our class on the local server here, and it's under CO246, and so these are local files, and so they will be very quick in terms of download for us. They'll be very quick. Okay, so let's go ahead and just copy the link location for this file. We could just click on it and download and put it somewhere in the local directory. That would have been fine. But I'd like to show you how you can download this file by using the command line. Okay? And so in this class, there are a few commands that you'll have to learn and write down. By the way, I just clicked on Terminal Emulator, which opens a window and allows me to work with the operating system at the command line. So go ahead and open that. Go ahead and say OK to that. So you want to go right here.
Right here?
Yep, perfect. There you go, there you go. Our first command is going to, start with wget and then the URL. So go ahead and type in wget followed by the longer URL. Yes, Terry.
Okay, what was the HTTP address again? Greater GRCC and
Yep, slash. It's right there on the screen. Is it difficult to see from here? Okay, well, we'll make that bigger. Let's see. The URL that I'd like you to take a look at is right here in step 1 of our lab. So if you go to assignments, then go to the Apache installation step by step, that's the URL. Now in addition, I'll go ahead and make the URL larger. I'll do that by opening something like Notepad. All right, and I will make the font large here with bold. Okay, here is the URL, and this is the command in front of it. There we go. Yes, yep. And so that, no, you keep it right like it is. You just type in wget first, then followed by the URL. Is this a little bit better, Terry? Were you able to see that? Yes, of course.
Issues with the mouse.
Oh, the mouse is, okay, yeah. So go ahead and do this. Go ahead and close that, and we'll create a new VM for you really quickly. Let's go to Start, and then VM Player, and then just briefly go ahead and right-click on this one and say delete the first one. Yeah, right-click and delete. Yeah, and actually I can see that say yes to that. And then go ahead and double-click on the second one. I think that's going to work better for you. And I agree, there's like a mouse sync problem on the other virtual hardware. Yep, so just say remind me later. Perfect. And that should work fine. Callie, is I think it's working for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got an error here. So something is misspelled. Right here where you have CO, okay, it needs to say CO246.
Oh.
So you just do
My
up
numbers
arrow.
is
Yep, up arrow, yeah. So here's the first trick of the trade, okay? If you run a command, you can always recall it by using up arrow. I'm going to misspell my command, and I'll run it, and when I do, messages come up on the screen. To get this command back, instead of retyping the whole thing, I use up arrow on the keyboard. And when I do, everything comes back, and that's beautiful. Okay, that just saves so much typing. Okay, up arrow. Up arrow is going to take you right back, and you can do up arrow multiple times to go through the whole history. Okay, let me see. I apologize. I completely forgot about you guys. Well, fix that. Okay, VM right here. VM player. And we'll say this. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go to.
Yeah. So what happens is it runs a live CD. So it starts off there, it runs completely off the CD. Then from there you have to actually install it into the virtual machine.
Okay. we'll put you on this system, and you can follow all the steps. All right. So we'll put you into this system. Let's see. Remind me later. Perfect. So here's the system, and I'll put in another terminal for it right here. Let's make sure that you are connected to the internet here, and you are. Okay. So you go ahead and use this for the lab. Great. All right.
It probably won't run without
Yeah.
So you have to like start it first and then install it.
Do you? Oh, so you didn't even start this one up yet. Okay. Let's.
Oh, because I couldn't log into it. I was having to log in.
Oh, you couldn't log in. Okay. Well. Okay.
It wasn't picking my password.
Did you do the lookup?
No.
Okay.
Let's do that at the same time. So type in the word lookup in the username and lookup in password, and then change your username. To make this work, we need to install a virtual machine. See, on this one we already have virtual machines running, so I can make the lab working for you on this system. Here we need a CD. Does anybody have from the 232 class the installation CD for Linux? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Well, Terry, do you have another installation CD not for Fedora? Okay. All right, let's see. I might have. I think I do have one. Is your laptop running still?
No.
Oh, you turned it off? Oh, okay. All right, all right. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to switch to the main workstation. We'll make that work. Okay, back to our lab. We are downloading the source files from the local Raider system. Is everybody successful? You should be able to see this displayed where it says saved. Okay. Kelly, is it working better? Perfect, perfect. Okay. Now, it says saved. We saved the file, but this is Knoppix. When you restart the whole thing, then the file will be gone, right? That's the reality of what we're dealing with, which is okay. So saved. When you type in ls, it shows you, yes, you have Apache. I like that. It's sitting right here. Apache in the Unix world is called HTTPD. HTTP is the protocol, right? We're going to talk about the protocol today. HTTP is protocol. D stands for daemon, or a service. Daemon is a program that runs in the background. That's where HTTPD stands for. And then you have the version. You have the major 20, then 59 is the build. And there are many builds. Okay, that's the first step. Perfect. The next command that we need to run, is going to unarchive and decompress. Unarchive and decompress. This command is tar-xzvf. First of all, let me give you a tip. When you type on the command line, you can use the tab key, so that when you type in tar-xzvf space h, press the tab key, and it's going to fill in the rest of the file name for you. There are only so many millions of keystrokes in your fingers. You have got to save them. All right, so tar-xzvf and then h and tab. I will put in the same command here. Right? This command is going to be tar-xzvf, and then we follow by the name of the file. And then enter, and you should see a quick display of all the files that are inside of it. This GZ file is very much like a zip file. Okay? It's a package of files. Okay, so you have, yeah. All right, so, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Tar, then space. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so here it is. Go ahead and minimize this. Let's go back here. This is where you want to type it in. What happened here? Is it not? Okay. Oh, I see. It's doing something. Okay, that's fine. So let's start right here, and start with the. Oh, did you already type something in here before? Okay. So I see. So go ahead and continue. Edu, yeah, and slash. It's a tilde mark. So.
Firefox still open? So I can
No. Say it again.
Is my browser still open?
It is right here.
Okay. I think I have most of them copied.
Okay, so there's some misspelling here because it did not. The easy thing to do would have been to. Oh, it's 246 now. 260. Do I have 264? Okay, so here you just right click, say copy. Right? Whoops, and then you can go back. Yeah, we just gotta do it this way. There you go, and then press enter. All right. Command. Oh, I see what happens. And so, very briefly, I think what we have to do is this. So it does not. Let's see. Oh. We don't know what that is. Okay, something is misspelled, or you're not on the wireless network. Did you open the browser and can you go to Google, for example? Okay, so now, okay, perfect, that works. So now go ahead and go with the second command, tar-xzvf, type in HTTP, and then tab. All right, yeah, go ahead and change that password once, yeah. Okay, where are you guys at? Control C will rescue from that, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he did tar.
Okay, space after tar right there.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, go ahead and type in the second command, tar space. No, right down here where you were at. Yeah, right there, yeah. So tar. Okay, great. Yeah, space dash xzvf. Okay. So are you connected to that? No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you need to type in this command at the command line. Yeah. Okay. X. You got an R there. Dash xzvf space ht and then tab. There you go. Press enter. Perfect. All right. So that's where we are. All right. You're gonna catch up in no time. Okay. You get this going. Okay. So far, we downloaded source files, we decompressed the source files, okay? Now, let's look at what happened. The ls command gives us the listing for the directories, and we can see in blue our folders or directories in blue. The white piece is a file. These are directories, which means that we can go inside of a directory now. CD allows us to go inside of the directory. Your next command is cd httpd-2.0.59. To make it easy, type in cd h and tab. It's going to fill in the path for you. It'll fill in the path for you. All right. At this point, we are inside of the source files for Apache. A lot of work went into writing these files. They are in C++. The include directory has a lot of different C++ files. We have key files here called makefile. It tells us that this source code can be configured and compiled with a package called autoconf. And this package has very straightforward commands. The first command that we will execute is the configuration command, configure. The reason why you see multiple colors here is because new versions of Linux like to tell you intuitively what type of file you're looking at. If you're looking at a regular file, it's white. Blue is a directory. Light green is an executable file, right? So that's why the colors. So here's the command that we'll be running. The command is /configure -- prefix equals. All right. You can't see that. I'll write it down with large letters in just a moment. We use /configure because we need to execute this file. So / allows us to do that. Next, we say -- prefix because that's the syntax for AutoConf to provide us with a parameter which says, where would you like to install this? So this is the command. We say /configure -- prefix equals, and for our needs, we will put it under home Knoppix Apache, and we will say with port equals 8080. A couple of reasons for that. We'll go over that a little bit later. But this is the command. So go ahead and provide this information. Port equals 8080. And when you press enter, you will see a lot of code go by because now AutoConf is going to inspect two things. It'll inspect the source code and it'll inspect our computer. It's checking for all dependencies. It's checking that we have all the additional software installed that's required for Apache. By the way, I am following our lab, and I'm right now in step 5. Okay, that's step 5. All right, well, let's look at some of the stuck points here. Okay, so you have the tar command. Let's see some other tar. Okay. Type in ls for a moment. Let's just see what we have inside. Yeah, enter. Perfect. So now let's type in the tar command. Tar space -xzvf. Yeah, vf space. Then type in HTT, and then press the tab key. Perfect. Go ahead and press enter. Okay, so that's that step. Now type in CD space HT and then tab key. Perfect. Enter. All right, and now go ahead and type in the command that we have in this step. The configure /configure. All right. All right. You guys are doing great. All right.
I didn't get the directory that you pulled up with the colors.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
You just ran the directory search.
I just typed in ls. Let's see what's happening right now here. You typed in CD. Okay, so if you typed in ls a moment ago, you probably would have gotten those directories. So I don't think they're missing. Okay.
Did you tell us to, or you just said up there?
I just typed in ls up there. ls is just for looking at directories to see what's currently in the directory. Yep. So you just add the with port.
Okay.
Yes.
I got the thing to download.
Yes.
I'm getting an IO error when I try to.
Yes, and that's because dash right
It
here.
needs a dash. No, it don't. I did it without the dash.
Did you pull the CD out? The CD is not there anymore. That's going to be the problem. Yep. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We'll get. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So you're right here. So what we're going to do is we'll stop this one, and let's go here, and basically we'll start up one that already exists on the system. Okay, right here, virtual machines. Oops. C. We'll grab this one right here. Okay, let's see. Tools, delete those things. let's go with that.
I skipped that left word.
Yeah, yeah. But go ahead and hit enter. And it,
Yep.
does it have a lot?
We'll just borrow this one right here. All right, like that.
I'm almost done installing the hard drive, and then I can let it promise.
Are you copying the, or are you installing from the?
Yeah, I'm installing it
I
to
see.
my VM, and then you can
Okay,
use
good,
the
good. Yeah, we're trying to log into Fedora. The thing is, I don't think it's a student installation,
Yeah.
so I probably don't know
password.
the password. I could change it, but then
You have to go into Grub and then do all.
well, I end up screwing it up for the
Oh,
for the student.
Oh,
Plus, this one doesn't
Did they blew
know.
out all the other
Yeah.
stuff?
What's that?
Did they blew out all the stuff from last semester?
Partially. Some of the systems still have a lot of.
This is still my system from last
You know
time. I
what?
probably
This
still have
one's
my
got
VM
one
on
too, it's
here.
under the.
Yeah. Well, this one right here.
See it?
232.
It's in the frame, under.
These files are.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
As long as you don't have.
This one.
My old one might be on here. My old Fedora.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all right. Let's just resume this one.
Or otherwise my notebook.
So how many more CDs do we need right now? There's 1, 2. Who else doesn't?
We're
I
sharing
need
one right
it
now.
because it says.
Oh, but did I give you one last week?
Yeah, I have one. at
You have
home.
one at home. Okay.
Because I
How,
have to unseat it.
how do I unlock what?
Drive it. Drive it.
You have to, yeah.
I think you're gonna do it.
Okay, so at this point, let's do this.
I thought it was on the side.
Okay, perfect. So you can do the lab in this system right here,
There's a eject
and basically start with wget, and then the first step. Okay, so you can do that. Terry, go ahead and use this one. Yeah, what it is, he already got started his machine, and
Oh, he needs a CD to.
continue. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and start with wget, and just go with the HTTP there. Very good, very good. Okay. Here's the good news. Next week, you're going to go through all the exact steps, all by yourself, because in this class, we're going to be building on this lab, and we'll be adding more and more and more. So you'll get really good at this. All right, that's a good news. So, all right, so far, we configured everything. If you at all see errors at this point, likely you either mistyped the command, okay, or maybe you are trying to work on a system that basically is missing some libraries. Okay, that's possible. Okay, the next step is really easy. You say make. Okay, make is the command that'll start compiling. Make. Yes?
Did I lose everything?
No, it's right here, yep. So now go ahead and type in make. Okay, and this is where the virtual machine is working really hard. Okay, Kelly, how, perfect. Okay, you're at make. Did it resume once you put the CD in?
You know what? I can't figure out how to unlock it, but the,
If you just do this, it doesn't come out?
no.
Well, that's because
VMware takes over your.
No, it's basically you're asking for CD-ROM all this time here. Okay, now what happened here?
Can you type in eject or?
Yeah, I could, but why isn't this moving? Oh,
I
that's
gotta
right.
reconnect the drive now. I just disconnected it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Well, can we?
Connect.
Well, I don't know.
But the
I don't
thing
think- I don't
is,
think
it's still
that's-
not letting me in.
You might have to bounce it and, you just restart.
It says disconnect and override the lock, and then it doesn't unlock anyway.
Well, because I mean, you
Yeah.
basically removed the CD too early. Yeah, go ahead and just restart it quickly, and we'll be further down.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a couple of commands there that you can.
Right.
Okay, looks good. Okay, looks good. So with the tar, perfect. Yep. Press enter. Okay, good, good. All right. Are you doing all right? Did that not install correctly?
I guess not.
Go back to your Fedora system
Okay.
and do the lab there. All right. All these little things. Okay, great. My stuff is compiled. A huge step that took place. A short command, but a huge step. We went from the source code in C++ to the compiled executable version of the software. And it is currently hidden inside of our directories here. Okay? It's under the build directory. It's there. What we need to do is we need to install it on our system. And the location where I chose to have my installation is on the configure line under prefix. I want my software to be in home Knoppix Apache. All right? I know I don't have this directory yet because if I say ls home Knoppix, you see Apache directory is not there yet. So my next command is make install. Make install does not compile. It simply copies files from one place to another and it creates all kinds of directories. That's what make install does. Okay, what do you think make delete, make uninstall will do? Right? It's a cool package because it'll manage your software. You can say make uninstall. You can say make clean. Make clean is a very important command because sometimes you will say, hey, I want to add SSL to this, or I want to add this module, and then you'll change your mind, and part of the source code is already adjusted to include whatever module. So when you say make clean, it's going to delete all the objects that it precompiled and allow entire new complete compilation of the software. So make clean is sometimes just a magic command. But under make install, you see make directory. Make directory means create a new folder. You have things like copy up here somewhere, okay? CP right here. So now I have all those directories. I can verify that they exist because when I type in ls home Knoppix, I have Apache directory. Now I install the software. The last thing I need to do is to start it. You start Apache by issuing home Knoppix Apache bin Apache CTL start. Okay, and I'll type in the command right here on the top. So I said home Knoppix Apache bin Apache CTL start. And you will see a little warning type message that says could not figure out qualified name. We'll fix it in the future. Okay. Well, now, even though it doesn't look like much, Apache is running. Apache is running. You see, in Unix or in Linux, a lot of times you press enter and nothing shows. There isn't like a success, you know, smiling faces. In fact, you may see a warning that looks like something didn't go right. But yet, it's running. Okay, so this is not a quick glorification type operating system. So to see that this in fact is running, we have to start ourselves a web browser, and the URL to our website is localhost. And let me refresh this. Okay, localhost with the port that we specified, which is port 8080. And notice that this is now, this is on my web server. This is my Apache that I started that's running. Okay, let me see if we can include all the information on one screen. Let me lower this slightly so you can see the URL. So we said, hey, make sure to have port 8080 as the custom port. There's a really good reason for that as well. And then run Apache.
Mine didn't
You didn't start? Okay.
Well, it installed,
Yeah.
but then
So
it says it's not installed.
so take a look at the command that I started. It says home Knoppix Apache bin Apache CTL. Go ahead and switch to the terminal. You're missing the beginning of it. So if you do up arrow, right here you have to type in /home /Napix. Yep. Okay. All right. Did that work for you? Okay. Let's see. There's some problem right here.
Make install, I got an error.
Okay. When you said make install, okay. Okay. What I'd like to do is I'm going to type in history, and it'll give me a quick preview of all other commands that you typed in. Okay. Ooh, here's the problem. Because of this little custom thing that we're running, you actually don't have a Napix directory. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll quickly change that. You are under home student.
Okay.
So first, go ahead and type in make clean. Okay, make clean is the first thing. Make clean, perfect.
So every time you say Napix, I just put student?
Exactly, yeah. And we will fix this, okay, so that way you can follow the lab exactly the same. I just have to come up with a few more CDs, that's all. Prefix, and then just change this to student. Yep, student. Perfect, enter. All right, and then after that, just do make and make install, you'll be all right. All right, how are you doing? Okay, so you also typed in Napix. I should have told you ahead of time, yeah. Okay, let's see. Make clean, that's fine, that's perfect. Let's go back to the configure line, and let's just change Napix to actually your username is yet different. Let's see, what is your username? Home. You're going to use able. Okay, go ahead and type in able. It's the student here from last semester. Go ahead and press enter. And now when this is done, type in make and then make install.
Okay.
All right? All right. All right.
Is that one command and then you run?
No, there's a slash between Apache and bin.
Just making stuff.
Okay.
Yep. Up arrow, you can go up arrow and you don't have to read up the whole thing.
Nope.
Kelly,
Get back there and then trying to change
and
that
then
cursor.
you go right here.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Same exact problem with the disking.
Well, okay. So but all you did is you just recovered the actual virtual machine. You didn't restart.
Yeah, I restarted everything.
Yeah, but it says that tar does not exist. Here's what we need to do. Yeah.
Download
No, what you did is you restarted, and it's but you also have to restart.
Ah.
Where's the Oh, I so what we have to restart virtual
the
machine.
virtual machine completely.
Yeah, that's right. Because what happened is it lost the handle on the underlying operating system. Yep. Did it work for you? Okay. Okay, that looks good. Okay, but there was some other error right here. So let's just look at this. Make install, entering directory. So it didn't look. Let me just take a look. It didn't look. After you just said make, did it complain as well?
I think if I did make and everything works, I tried doing make install.
Okay, it looks like here you did make install without saying make first. So make has to be first,
Okay,
and then make
install
install
and then
afterwards. Yeah, so they're all specific steps. Okay, good, you're compiling, great. You're already working, great. Richard, good job. Yes. Yeah, you're missing a slash at the beginning of home here. See, there needs to be a slash like this. Could not open document config file.
I may have made the same mistake.
Okay, let's look at history here. The second one is fine. Make install.
Third.
What's that? Make install. Okay. So okay, Apache is there. So when we say this, could not open document config file. Okay. Home. Oh, Napix is misspelled. So Napix is misspelled right there. So, fortunately, I have to go to step number 1, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to say make clean first, because now we have to undo some of the other steps. And now, you see, but the steps are so quick, it's not a big deal. So now when you go to configure, this is perfect, but there's 2 P's in Apex. That's all it is. Go ahead and run this. After that, say make, and then make install. Okay, something, that's what I like. I like something weird. Okay.
Permissions error.
Permissions error.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. So, could not, port 880. Ooh, that's the problem. So if we look at the history here, notice that your command shows port 880, whereas our port is 8080. Right? It's like 8,000 ports
So it's
higher.
all- okay, that's why I got all the errors.
Oh, because it's less than
It's a,
less than 1,000.
yeah, that's exactly the point. So basically, as a root user, you could do that. So what I'll do is I'll just fix it for you, because
Okay.
what we can do here is we can just quickly change the configuration file, and let's do this.
The instructions mention the make clean command.
Yeah. So right here, see, we'll just go in and we'll say find the port 880, and we'll just add the 0 that was lost.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And now go ahead and run your start command. Go ahead and start it.
Just hit enter.
Yep, hit enter. Perfect. And now go to the browser and see if you can come up with a home page.
The browser,
Oh, I got it.
is that one of these actually?
Yeah.
Right here?
No, already on the white space, like right here. There you go. And now type in right here in the command, in the address bar, localhost colon 8080. Yep.
Colon?
Yep. No, localhost, one word.
No, local word.
Yep. Then colon 8080. Enter. All right, and there it is. There's your Apache server. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, yes. Fully qualified and blah, blah, blah. Errors already in use. Well, all it means is that you already started it once.
Oh.
Let's do restart. Unable to open logs. Ooh, let's see what happened here. So we're gonna do history. And you say, okay, configure prefix home Napix Apache with port make install, and that looks perfect actually. And we are as user Napix. Now the thing is, if we just say stop here, the PID is not running. Okay, that's fine. But now if we say start, what happens? Could not using. That's okay. Okay, let me just see.
That one, they don't mind if I put the 2 next to each other.
So go to the browser. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and now let's where are we here? We're gonna say localhost. Whoops. It's short trying to type quickly. Okay, let's see what happens here. An error while loading connection. Okay, that makes sense because there should be nothing running there. But when you try to say start, okay, I think it's just a delay in the background, because now that we started it, it's working okay. So now we should be able. There it is. Yeah. So it was all fine, but it's just a sequence of it. Like you started it the first time, which was great. Then you try to start again, and it says, "Oh, I can't start."
Oh.
That's all it's saying. Yeah, you did fine. Yeah. Okay. Did that work for you? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Works for you. Good. Good. Okay, Caddy, I see it's working for you.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good.
What's wrong with this now?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because what happened here is, whoops, if we look at the history of this, the configure line, see you're missing an equal sign here. I know, it's for me it doesn't, but that's an equal sign.
Okay.
Not a problem, because what we're going to do here is we can quickly fix that, and you'll learn how to do that in the future. But we'll quickly fix by editing this file right here. See, like this. So we're changing the port number, and now go ahead and start. Now it's, and then go to your browser and type in localhost colon 880. Yes.
I've restarted it. I've done everything that I could possibly think of.
And it's still
Will not get. It's still giving me the same thing.
okay. You restarted, it reloaded the whole thing.
Yeah. Rebooted. All kinds of stuff. It may be that it's not in the path.
No, so
Because I'm loading from a file on my drive, not from the Linux disk.
now what file on the drive are you loading from?
The file that I created last time around, ISO.
This one right here? Okay, that 60,000 K is not big enough, so that is not a complete file.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So don't load from this file. That's not the right file.
ISO on the disk.
No. Load from the
Right.
physical drive. So no ISO involved. Just say this. Yep, and this actually might actually work. No, it's not going to. So yeah, just
Localhost what?
you're gonna do that inside of the browser.
okay,
Yeah, you're gonna type in localhost. Yep. Perfect. And then 8080 colon 8080 at the end. Yeah, colon 8080. Perfect. Enter. There it is. All right. How's it working for you? Perfect. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what happened here. Installing home able Apache. Home able Apache. Okay. So all you need to get rid of is the CD in front of it. There you go. Perfect. It's already running. Let's say, so we probably did that once already. I'm going to restart. Perfect. Let's go to the browser right here. And then no www in front of it, and no .com, just localhost all by itself. Yeah, and colon 8080. Perfect. Enter. There it is. All right. Everybody got to the Apache? Let's see. Okay. So you were all successful at installing, at compiling your first software. Open source, you went from sources to compilation to starting it up. See, the rest of this course is all about how to include new modules, how to run how to modify configuration of the server, how to make it do all kinds of new things. But this is the 101. This is how we make it go. So let's dive into some of the things that happen in between. I'm going to full screen this one more time. Okay, so first of all, notice localhost. Okay, localhost is an expression that we use with IP networking that simply says it's going to be the computer that we are running on. It is a local name that is resolved to a specific address, and that address is, that's right, 127.0.0.1. Every website has an IP address, and this is one that everybody gets in a loopback. It's a network interface that always exists on the network card. I shouldn't say always exists. You actually have to start it up, and it starts automatically. But even if you're not on the internet, if you're not connected through a modem, you will have this address, localhost. So a lot of times in this course, I'll talk about localhost, go to localhost. So that's what it means. The second part, which is a little bit strange, is this port 8080 right here. Okay, and so some web servers actually do require that you go to a custom port. Not very many these days, but basically a web server can listen on any port. It's very common for web servers to listen on port 80 because that's the standard port, or on port 443 for the secure web server communication. But the reason why we couldn't do that today is because I wanted for you to have this NAPEX installation in a relatively easy mode, which means that we were working as an underprivileged user. That user is called NAPEX. So that way, you didn't have to log in as any other user. You can change to port 80, in which case you could call up your website by just providing the IP or by providing localhost if you started your server as root, as super user. And in the future, I'll show you how to do that. It's not a big deal, but one thing at a time. But that's why 8080 had to be at the end. In Unix, there's this rule that only super user can start services on port less than 1024. So if you are a user who is not super user, you can start services, that's no problem, but you have to have listening ports that are higher than 1024, which usually makes you stick out like a sore thumb, right? Which is sort of the reason, if you are not the owner of the server, then don't run services that can be construed as legitimate. But for development purposes, port 8080 is just fine. If you're trying out your website, all of that will work just fine. So that's the port. And then notice the first part, HTTP. Okay, HTTP, very, very important part. Have you ever seen anything else in front of a URL than HTTP? What else have you seen? Okay, so you could say FTP, and you have to have an FTP server to listen. The other thing that the browser will do for you automatically, which is really beautiful, it's going to change the port if you don't provide it. So when you say FTP at the beginning, it goes automatically to the FTP port. If you say HTTPS, it goes to 443 automatically, right? So that's just a setting inside of the browser. But yes, FTP sometimes we see here. And let me just show you what this might look like. So if I say FTP radarcast.jst.edu, okay, it's going to, well, look at that. That's not working either. Radar, what's that? It's possible that this highly secure browser does not have, oh, it does have enabled. So I can go ahead and log in here. No, better not. Right? And so now I'm logged in to the Radar server, but this is no longer HTTP. Okay? We're connecting via FTP. Any other protocols that you have seen? Telnet. Okay. The browser doesn't really talk Telnet, but yes, there's a Telnet protocol that allows you to do things. Well, now that we talk about Telnet, let me show you this. You can say through Telnet, I don't even know that we have it here, which we don't. But if you are on a Windows system and you have Telnet installed, you can say Telnet port 80 and then the web server. And it'll actually connect to the web server. The web server will say, hello, what would you like to do? Okay? And then you can start typing the header if you know exactly what you're doing. You can type the whole HTTP header to it. Because that's, that's how basic Telnet is. How about HTTPS? Right, you probably have seen HTTPS in front of a URL. The reason why they do that is because the request process between HTTP and HTTPS does differ. With HTTPS, there's some handshakes and exchange of tokens and certificate communication that takes place before the HTTP part kicks in again, and once it's secured, it's HTTP type communication in between. There is something called WebDAV. Anybody heard about WebDAV? Okay, WebDAV, actually inside of our Blackboard system, if you go to the content folder, you can map a WebDAV drive from your desktop to Blackboard. WebDAV is a protocol that allows you to move files, very much like FTP, but WebDev is beautiful because it can go over port 80 and it can talk to a web server. So you can now map a drive on your computer over to a web server, and you can read and write. Okay, really nice stuff, WebDev. Okay, but let's go back to HTTP, localhost, port 8080, and HTTP is now a protocol very, very, very popular on the internet. We are now up to version 1.1 of HTTP. Okay, for the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'd like you to use a research tool of your choosing. Google will be a good one, and try to figure out what is the difference between version 1.0 of HTTP and version 1.1. There must have been a good reason to change the version of HTTP because it's such a powerful protocol, such a basic thing. So your task is to figure out what is the difference between 1.1 HTTP and 1.0. Let's take a few minutes to do that.